Hello students, today before we move on to bearing, let's look at the cardinal points. The cardinal points are made up of primary directions of the north, east, south and west. If you draw the four cardinal points, so we have the north, the south, the west and the east. So this is the arrangement. So we have the north, the south, the west and the east. Movement of angles in the cardinal point plane is usually in the clockwise direction. So it moves from the north, then in the clockwise direction. So this one will be for the first quadrant, this is for the second quadrant, third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. What do we mean by the quadrant? A quadrant is an angle of 90 degrees. So it's an angle of 90 degrees, makes an angle of 90 degrees. So if you draw the four cardinal points, so this is from, if you are starting your zero from here, 90 is here. So this is the first quadrant. Between 0 and 90 is the first quadrant. Between angle 91 to 180 is the second quadrant. So the second quadrant is here. So between this angle is for the second quadrant. So the third quadrant starts from 181, angle 181 to 270. Give you the third quadrant. So this is for the third quadrant. Then the fourth quadrant starts from 271 to angle 360 degrees. So this is for the fourth quadrant. So usually the movement is usually from the north in the clockwise direction. So it's the moment you start from 0 to 90 is the first quadrant. From 91 to 180 will give you the second quadrant. From 181 to 270 will give you the third quadrant. From 271 to 360 will give you the fourth quadrant. Now let's learn how to place angles in their quadrants. Placement of angles on the cardinal plane with their breakdown. Now if this is 45, in bearing you write numbers in three figures like this. So 0, 4, 5, that means you are talking of angle 45 degrees. So if you want to play 45 in the quadrants, you realize 45 is an angle between, it's an acute angle between, it's not up to 90. Since it's not up to 90, angle 45 should be in the first quadrant. To write this to be in the first quadrant, so this is the first quadrant. So you rule your line here. So this angle is in the first quadrant. So it starts from the north. This north pole. So then from this north pole to this, where you rule this line, that is for angle 45 degrees. Now let's look at this second one. This is angle 115 degrees. 115 degrees. 115 degrees should be in the second quadrant. So this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant. So to be able to draw it on the four cardinal plane, so that means you rule a line here in the second quadrant. It means you are having from this north up to where this line reaches to be 115. So that means you can now break this down into the smaller angles. So this first quadrant is what? 90. You can break this 115 down. So this first one is 90. You have a 90. Then you can now look for the value of this small angle. From here to this place is 115. But I want to break it down into the cardinal plane. So first of all, you remove 90, then remaining this small angle. To get this small angle, you say 115 minus 90. 115 minus 90 will give you 25. So that means the first quadrant is 90. The second quadrant, the angle you're having there is 25. So if you bring 115 down into the plane, so that means you'll be having what? 90 plus 25 will give you 115. 90 plus 25 will give you 115. Now let's look at this other question. We're having angle 222 degrees. If you write, so 222 degrees should be in which of the quadrants? We said that in the third quadrant, we are having the angle is between 181 to 270. So 222 fall within this range. So it means this angle 222 is in the third quadrant. So 1, 2, 3. This is the third quadrant. If we rule this line here, so it means from the north up to where this line is 222 degrees. So you can break this down into the quadrants. So when you break it down, so this first one is what? 90. This second quadrant is 90, making 180. So if you now say 222 minus 90 plus 90 is 180. So 222 minus 180. So that will give us 42. So that means the value for this remaining angle here is 42 degrees. 222 minus 180 will give you 42 degrees. So if you want to break 222 down into the cardinal plane, so that means you have a 90 plus 90 plus 42 degrees. 90 plus 90 plus 42 degrees. So now let's have another example. We are having angle 317 degrees. 317 degrees. 317 degrees is in the fourth quadrant. So let's rule this line. So that's the line. So it means from this first angle here, from the north pole here up to where this line is 317 degrees. So if we want to break this down into the quadrant, so this first one is 90. This is second quadrant 90. The third quadrant we have 90. Then you want to know the value of this angle that is here. To know the value of this angle, so that means this we having 90 plus 90 plus 90 will give you 270. If you subtract 270 from 317, so 317 minus 270, that will give us 7. 11 take away, that's 47. So it means you're having 47 degrees. So that means the remaining angle here is 47 degrees. So when you are breaking down 317 into its quadrants, that means you're having 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 47 degrees. So 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 47 degrees. Now let us look at the work practice. Place the following angles in the cardinal plane and show the breakdown. 185 degrees, B 275 degrees, C 134 degrees, D 198 degrees, E 321 degrees, and F 055 degrees. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Thank you.